In this video, we're going to do a head-to-head comparison between CPhrase and ChatGPT. So we're doing this over Amazon Redshifts example ticket database. And this database has things like events and the sales of these events. And here we're just going to look at events here to get an idea what's in the database. So we see here that, oh, these are all the events. These are 2008. Here's Macbeth. Okay, so what we're interested in here now is we're going to look at what were the venues of Macbeth. All right, so the different venues where Macbeth was held were, it looks like there was 41 of them. Let's just see which cities they were in. So if we look right here, we can get the cities. And then the cities are, okay, so we have those cities. We'll move those over to the sidebar so that we can construct queries from them. And what we're particularly interested in here is the Los Angeles viewings of Macbeth, or listings of Macbeth. So the venues for Macbeth and the ones that are in Los Angeles. All right, so we click on that. And then this is launching CPhrase, and what we get back here is we get back the venues. So we have Royce Hall. So let's focus here on Royce Hall. And let's just look at the sales of for the Macbeth event at Royce Hall. So these sales, these are tickets that were exchanged between agents. And what we'll see here is we have all the tickets here, and we have like the seller and the buyer. So those are both users in the system here. So what we want to get here is the total commission, all right, for the sales of Macbeth at Royce Hall. And then we want to do that per seller. We're interested in like how well the sellers are performing here. So we just say user here. Now it's ambiguous here because it could be the users buying the tickets, but in this case it's the ones who are selling. So we see here then those are the total commissions generated for the sales of Macbeth at Royce Hall. And we can just take the top three names here, Abel Hicks, Ishmael Holden, and Lewis Bennett. We just have to type those in. And then what we can do from that is we can wind up just generate the list here of the names here. So Lewis Bennett. And then from that, what we get is we get the list of these agents. And then what we can do is we can put this into a CVS or a CSV, or we can put it into a spreadsheet. Okay, so that just shows kind of a use case here of how we've used the information. So now let's see how ChatGPT does over a similar problem. So here you see that the ChatGPT icon there. So if we put in events here, unfortunately we get a problem here because what it's doing is it's actually not stripping the plural off of the table. So the table is named event. So if we look here, it should be selecting all that over just event. So let's try to help it out here and then just simply give it event rather than events. Okay, so now when we do this, what we get here then, calling out to ChatGPT, we actually do get the events. Okay, so in this case here, it did get the correct query, correct SQL. Now, if we want to go, and then what we want to do now is find out the venues of like the event Macbeth. Let's see how we can wind up doing that. So we say the venues, this is the similar query we had before. Actually, let's just go back here. We can just up arrow here. We have venues Macbeth. So if we just put that in, then what ChatGPT does then is it thinks that it's the venue name of Macbeth. Okay, so if we look here, what we get back here is the actual SQL winds up being venue name equals Macbeth. So well, let's see if we can just maybe help it out here and say venues where the event name is Macbeth. Right, so in this case here, what is it going to give us then? So that seems problematic as well. If we look at the SQL that was generated, we'll see that it's getting the event name. So for some reason, it thinks that you're trying to get the event name again, and that event name will wind up equaling Macbeth. So that's why we got all those Macbeths there. So if we try some other stuff here, so if we go back here and we look at some of these earlier ones here, like for instance where we had the sales, let's try to even help it out a little bit here, where the event is named Macbeth, and then the venue is named Royce Hall. Let's see if it can get that. Right, and then it's going to take a little while here to do this. So, yeah, so going out to ChatGPT for this question takes a little while. What do we get back? So we get back something where we're getting event name and venue name. So let's look at the SQL here. So this is the SQL that's coming back. So again, it's projecting off of the values that are given. So that's why it's just repeating these things here. So now, I mean, if we just go and we look now at the, maybe kind of the, one of the, like this, for instance, this query here, it doesn't seem very hopeful that ChatGPT will get a correct answer to this. Let's just see what it does here. So what we get here is we get the answer is going to come back in a second here. So it's taking a while. So the interactive performance is perhaps a little bit problematic. It's really not clear what it's doing here with this. Seems to be doing a little bit better though. Here's the prompt that we put in. Here's the SQL that came out. So if we just give it a C phrase, we just get this right here where we just have the, we just resolve it through C phrase here. So C phrase gives us a much better SQL result here over this kind of more complicated question. So the takeaway from all of this is that I believe that for problems like mapping natural language to SQL, systems like C phrase are probably the better choice if you want to have natural language access to the databases of your company. Okay, thank you very much.